Episode 206, Reuters study on AI in news.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI 6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
There's a new study out from the Reuters Institute that makes for interesting reading. It's called the Generative AI and News Report of 2025. And it surveyed thousands of people across 6 countries to understand how we're actually using AI and what we think about AI-generated news. Hello and welcome back to AI 6, the podcast that teaches you AI in just 6 minutes a day. I'm your host, Joanne Sweeney, on a mission to upskill 500,000 people in the AI age and to join Team AI for Good. I love studies from Reuters Institute. They are so thorough and insightful and really help me in my own work. I would say at a high level, the findings are not surprising in many ways, as respondents talk about the importance of trust, transparency, and what happens when technology moves faster than our readiness as news consumers. Putting it into context, in just 1 year, the number of people who've ever used generative AI jumped from 40% to 61%. And weekly users nearly doubled from 18% to 34%. So there's a real acceleration in adopting and adapting to the AI age. And people aren't just using AI to create content anymore. The most common use now is getting information. So research, with 24% of people using AI for that. And then creating media such as text, images, videos, or audio comes second at 21%. But let's focus now on the business of news and journalism. And of course, people get very nervous when we talk about AI in this domain because trust is everything. The report says that only 6% of people are using AI to get their news, but that's doubled from last year. But it's still relatively small. And when we break it down by age, younger people aged 18 to 24 are using AI differently. They're not just asking for the latest news, they're asking AI to make news stories easier to understand, to summarize, to translate it from complex language into something more accessible. Nearly half of young people who use AI for news say they use it to simplify stories. So this is quite insightful and a real learning for journalists and news organisations out there. On trust, only 12% of people are comfortable with fully AI-generated news. But when there's human involvement, that number goes up. And when the news is entirely human-made, it jumps to 62%. The study also looked at something that should worry publishers: AI-generated search answers. And these are AI overviews that pop up at the top of our Google search. 61% of respondents have seen one in the past week. Only a third of those people clicked through to the actual source. So that means that publishers and media organisations are potentially going to experience a significant loss in traffic. Are people trusting AI summaries and then not going to the original article? There's a transparency gap too. Around 60% of people say they don't see AI features when they're reading news. Only 19% see AI labelling daily. And that's a problem because people want to know when AI is being used. So, what are the takeaways from this latest Reuters study? AI is here. We're adopting it. It's accelerating really fast. Younger audiences are using AI in a different way. Trust can be broken easily. We have to be transparent when using AI. We need to label it and we need to be able to explain how we're using it and maintaining that trust by keeping us the humans in the loop. The big one here is a reminder that how we're discovering and searching for news and information is dramatically changing. We're now living in the zero-click era whereby we're able to read information and news within the interface of the large language models such as ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot. And we don't need to leave, which means we don't need to click on the web link, which is bad news for publishers who monetize their websites and their apps because of traffic and attention. And if that is dropping, then business models have to be rethought. Ultimately, the Reuters study reminds us that people still value human judgment, human-led reporting, and human accountability. AI can help us work faster, but it shouldn't replace the expertise that you as journalists, or me, bring to work. If you enjoyed this episode of AI6, please share it with a pro that you know. And if you want to become AI literate and competent, get a copy of my book, AI Playbook, available on Amazon or for Irish readers at aimarketingplaybook.ie. I'm Joanne Sweeney. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.